Hey everyone, how's it going today? It's Blake here from ChessPathways.com, and I have another video for you about positional play today. This was a game played between Korchnoi and Polugaevsky from 1963. It's white to play, so go ahead and take some time to assess this position, think about who's better and by how much, and how would you play here with white. Go ahead and pause the video and take your time and do that. Alright, hopefully you're back with me now. So what's going on here? You might have been tempted to look at some more tactical elements of the position, but unfortunately for white, there's no good discovery here on the e-file, even with this rook eyeing the queen. None of these knight moves really lead to anything, most of them are unsafe, so white really has no good way to exploit the tactics here, and because of that, you might have said that black was better, because it looks like black has the better pawn structure, white has these doubled isolated pawns that could certainly be weak in an endgame. But that's not the full story. Korchnoi came up with a very good idea here, and I remember being very impressed the first time I saw this game, and Korchnoi played here pawn to h3. With the simple plan here to play g4, g5, and knight f6, and there's not very much black can do about this. Korchnoi is essentially making this outpost on f6 appear almost out of thin air. This turns out to be very effective in the game, and let's kind of break down why this works. First of all, it helps that this knight can't be driven away. Black can't really play d5 effectively. This is a backwards pawn. White is restricting it enough that it can't move forward too easily. So this knight gets to maintain its position on e4 in the meantime, while white puts this plan into action. And it also helps that black has traded off their dark squared bishop. Black has their pawns here on light squares. They only have the light squared bishop left. We know that when the pawns are on light squares, usually the dark bishop is the more important bishop to cover all those outposts that the opponent could have, and here white sees an opportunity and takes advantage of it. Now that we've talked about why h3 was so strong here, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of this game. So Korchnoi played h3, Polugaevsky played queen g7, g4, takes, knight h4, g5. Again, not really much black can do to stop this plan. White just gets this pawn to g5, and they're ready to play here knight to f6. And here, Polugaevsky decided to sacrifice the exchange with rook takes f1, and rook takes e4. This is also a very good lesson to take away here, in that when your opponent finds a very good positional idea that's very strong, you're often not going to just give them a free hand to execute it and overwhelm you. You're going to find some way to change the course of the game, sacrifice the exchange, sacrifice a pawn, and pose them new problems to solve. This is one of the reasons why older chess games are so instructive in some ways positionally, and why they're so often cited by all kinds of instructional sources. Because in a lot of those games, played by the old masters against inferior opposition, the stronger player would find some really nice positional idea, end up with some dominating position with a good knight versus a bad bishop, and slowly grind out the endgame and inevitably win. And maybe their whole conception of this started back on move, 15, 20 in the early middle game, when they started making the exchanges to achieve that outcome. They saw the weakness in the pawn structure. They get that knight into a weak square like on d5, playing against the bad bishop. And the opponent never really changed the course of the game. In modern Grandmaster chess, you're not going to see games like that too often. The opponent's going to sacrifice something, change the course of the game, if they see that the opponent's ideas are very strong. So okay, back to the game. Black sacks the exchange, white takes back, and now white's advantage has transformed here. Again, very common. White had a great positional idea, and now it's been transformed into a material advantage where white's up the exchange. So knight f5, takes, rook e1. Black is banking on the fact that this bishop is pretty strong, the king is exposed, and the double pawns could still be weak, trying to hold on to this game. Queen d7, queen d4, bishop c2, rook e2, queen f5, queen d2. White's just keeping everything under control, and because there's open files here on the board, being up the exchange is very significant, and white just has to find the right time to kind of break through. Bishop e4, trying to shut down this rook on the file, queen e3, and after a little bit more shuffling here, white successfully broke through. They just evacuated that king. Now there's no more checks. Rook f2, queen f4, white gets on this f-file, crashes through, and black resigns. So, always keep an eye out for these opportunities to create weaknesses in the opponent's position, and hopefully you'll be able to apply this idea to your own chess games. Thanks for watching, everyone, and make sure you visit ChessPathways.com. There's a link down in the description, and get signed up there. It's totally free, only takes 5 seconds to sign up, and I will send you a free move-by-move guide to chess thinking when you join. Thanks, and I'll see you there.